You're gonna come at me like, what?
I'm gonna do like
Who did that?
the guy in Sacramento.
And in the Sacramento. Dude, this guy was like,
But his eyes were off to the side, like up. Like I can't remember which way they were. Like I don't know.
what's that?
He was walking a straight line though.
Yeah, it was in it, man. I said, it was in it.
He was. He very much was.
So, what do you have to say about the Sacramento? You like that area?
No.
I don't really like that area either. You know why?
Hmm.
Too many fucking people. It's like Dallas.
Yeah, I'm good. No, I don't want people to be like, oh, she hates on Cali. No, that's not it. Because we stayed in a beautiful part of Cali, and we stayed 2 hours away. It was an hour and a half on a good timeline, but it was 2 hours away on a bad timeline.
Yeah, the only bad part is about that trip, and it could have been different if the roads were the roads are fucked up in California, by the way. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's a weird system.
Yeah.
But back to where I was going.
Okay, sorry.
I know, a lot of squirrel nut.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had that lane, like a 2-lane road instead of like a 4-lane road, but two on each side instead of.
Oh yeah, it was split.
No, it was
like we had a one. They were legit. So there was I guess a watering reservoir, creek, whatever, river. I don't know what you want to call it. But then on one side it was like a two, like, whoosh, whoosh, and then on the other side it was like, whoosh, whoosh. I'm like, why not make it two that way and then two this way? Why you got to have? I don't understand. I don't understand.
And it made us go a weird way to get onto that road. Yeah. We had to pass. We had to go over that road.
Yeah, we did.
To get on the road that we were on.
And then we had to cross back over to get to that road to turn where we needed to go.
We had to cross back over the road that we could have stayed on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we had to make a left turn to go down 5 miles to make a right turn and go right back over that same damn road we crossed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the on-ramps don't make any sense. Your off-ramp is your on-ramp. In Texas, it's not like that.
And they have that wonderful blinking flashing light.
Oh, 2 cars per green light?
Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 1 car.
Oh, per green light.
You got to pay attention to the signs, people.
It was so confusing. We spent so much time turning around.
Yeah. You turn.
Yeah.
Oh, my turn.
So, turn. Like, before you guys jumped off into the middle of a conversation. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, welcome. Number 13. I'm sorry that we're at number 13 just now, but we had to take a little pause and go to Cali and
yeah, and we were
take a break.
We were exhausted. We needed to regroup, and I know that I'm excited for the things that we've even talked about tonight and gone live with tonight. My inbox is blowing up. We've got some awesome meetings lined up for the tail end of this week and next week. Content creation stuff. We've brought on editors to our team. There's just been a lot that's happened.
Y'all saw how tired I was in episode 10, right?
Yeah.
Where I was literally passing out. Well, that's because to get to all of those episodes, we were literally around the clock 24/7.
Yeah.
For days at a time. And it tore me apart.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, physically.
Mm-hmm.
I got broken.
Mm-hmm.
So if I didn't take a break from all of that.
And we did. So it
was going to be an issue.
Well, so we needed to load our room, and we did. We tore it down. This is the first time we travel with our podcast gear.
And this is the first reset setup, and it's a lot better.
Which y'all can't see, but we can, and it makes this room functional. So this room is also functional for our family as well. Like, we still have to have kids go in and out of here and stuff. And so, like, the functionality of the room matters on top of having all of the gear. So that matters. But to that, this is also our content creation gear on top of podcasting. So
yeah, so it's got to be removable, movable, resettable, and in a quick form.
And protectable.
Yeah.
So we're
staring at $12,000 worth of cameras.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the lenses.
Yeah. And the cords and the pods.
That's just the
and
cameras.
The batteries and yeah.
Well, we talk about that a lot on here. What we've got.
Yeah.
So you should know by now.
Yeah. But this was the first time we loaded it all up. And so we really wanted to make sure. And with traveling, it wasn't like we were, because we have a studio here in
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Um, and so, like, we do pack up some of our gear and travel for our podcast and stuff and content creation locally. This is the first time we've gone out of state with our gear, and we've done content creation for people in the DFW Metroplex as well. Now, that being said, like I said, this is the first time we traveled out of state with our gear. And so it was like, to me, it was like, I don't want to be stressed because we forgot something. And that wasn't because like I was scared you were going to be mad at me, because it was like, why didn't you tell me we were going to need that? Like, I didn't, not that you ever would. It is not that's ever happened. I just didn't want to be left with like, oh, I should have said something, or yeah, I should have, forecasted or thought it through or whatever. Like, I just didn't want to be like, oh, you're right, I should have. Because I felt like there was a lot riding on this event.
Honey,
Mm-hmm.
you just need to breathe.
Uh-huh. Well, and to that, so we stayed 2 hours
I
out.
got you covered.
We stayed two.
We overpacked.
We did. Clothing included.
We had enough clothes to stay 2 more weeks.
And I really wish we could have.
I really wish you could have too, because I would have, and I wouldn't have worn any clothing.
Not where we were located.
Nope. I walked up to the driveway naked, bare ass. Hang on, switch my camera. Yep, butt ass naked. It was nice. Nice breeze.
It's nice to air out the balls every once in a while, huh?
You got to do something with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a hot tub there. I was thinking about getting into it until I opened the cover, and it was a little milky looking.
Nope.
I was like,
I'm out.
I'm out on all that bodily fluid. I don't think there's enough chlorine in there to kill everything. I'm good.
No. And they probably don't have like a pool company that's going up, because
I would assume not. The thing that was floating around in there looked like it hadn't been filled in a while with chlorine.
I'm good. Oh, like the chlorine bobber,
the chlorine
thing.
bobber.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. I woke up in the morning one morning and no clothes on, and just walked outside because the doors, you'll see if y'all watch the shorts, and I'm sure you do. But if you watch the shorts, you see the doors open from the kitchen out into the main open area. So I had both doors open, went out there, started cooking breakfast, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'll throw me on some shoes. I'll walk down this trail naked. And then I did the Forrest Gump thing. Well, I think I'll keep going. And so I walked up to the mailbox. There's neighbors up there, by the way. I don't know if they caught it a view or not, but that's about the closest.
Did you say, oh shit?
No, I didn't. You know me, I don't give a shit.
No, I know. That's funny.
If clothes didn't exist, it would not bother me.
Yeah, it bothered me.
I do not care. But anyways, it was very nice, very relaxing. My favorite part of the house, of this particular house, was the bedroom ceiling. It had skylights in the perfect spot. So, also in this place in California, they don't have air conditioning. They have heating. They have wood burning stoves to warm the homes. They also have wall furnaces to warm the room individually. So you can warm one room up or the bathroom or whatever, which is pretty unique and I thought was pretty cool. But the reason why they don't have air conditioning is in this particular location. I'm sure they do in other parts of California, but where we were at on this mountain,
the elevation was so high you didn't need it.
You don't need it. So
and
the lows were in the 50s, and
nice.
The highs were in like mid 70s.
Yeah.
And so you just open up all the doors and windows, and because your house is set so far back off into this area, nobody's coming in there. It's just not going to happen. I mean, and if you try to get in there and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fall down the mountain.
Yeah, it's S curves. Like, you legit are a hairpin turns up the side of this mountain to get to this cabin that's just set off into the woods. beautiful cabin, well maintained, well, I mean, just absolutely gorgeous on the inside, very well set up. We just didn't use the inside. Like, we were outside.
It was actually built like that to not
Yeah.
use the inside,
It
which
was
is
so it was so quiet. Like, you could all we heard one dog bark the entire time we were there.
and it
It was
was
so
across, like, it had to have been a long ways
it
away.
was a long ways, and the other cool thing was, like, it was so quiet that, like, the wildlife would come up to you. So, like, there were deer that, like, I could have reached out and touched. There were squirrels that were, like, coming up to us because we were so quiet and just sitting still.
While we were taking a
Like,
nap,
it was just
you and I were sitting on the
so
patio furniture
beautiful.
taking a nap, and patio furniture is like this, right? And so she's like got her head on my chest,
Mhm.
and I've got my feet up on the ottoman thing.
Yeah.
I'm literally, and this is me sitting there. I'm looking out just at, because
This
this is
is
a wide open area right
this
here.
is this man's dream, by the way.
Yes, it's nature, it's beauty. It is just it was fantastic.
It was. Well, I'm
But
just
I'm looking for a treetop that is at my eye height, because I know if I know I can find one,
Mhm.
but it took forever to find one that
Yeah.
was at the very top of the tree, because my mind was already going. I'm like, how do trees grow? Like, I finally get to
You
take a
asked this
break.
question.
I get to take a mental break off of, like, smart, intelligent stuff throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, whatever. And I get to go brain dead, right? And then I get to actually think about the little things in life, like
Mhm.
nature.
Mhm.
And so I was like, how does a tree grow? Does it grow from the bottom up? Does it grow out of the top and then keep growing up and out? Does it grow from within and keep growing outwards? Does it do all of the above?
I think the way you phrased the question was, is the top always the top or does it grow past the top?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was mesmerized by the size of these freaking trees. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I wish we would have taken a picture with me trying to hug one because, like,
Yeah, it would have taken like 18 of her to get around one.
honestly, yeah,
These
pretty
trees are so
crazy.
beautiful.
They really, really were. This that whole area was just gorgeous. I loved how quiet it was. The Wi-Fi did not work, cell service did not work, and I appreciated that.
Literally had no service on anything. It was very nice.
We didn't even turn a TV on.
My dad tried to call, I think, and I talked to him. He's like, I can't hear you, but I know you could probably hear me, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what he said.
Mm,
And he said, I'll talk to you when you get home. And
mhm.
that was it. Click.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I knew all the kids were taken care of, and in that, 24, 48 hours that we were there on the mountain, it was like, I what if it's catastrophic, it's gonna still be catastrophic when we get back,
Yep.
and me knowing about it does not fix anything right now. So,
Not as
like
far away as we are. I mean,
no, and so that was kind of like that was me just letting everything go, and the fact that it's like, because 'cause I'm a fixer, and, like, I overplan, and I over make sure, and I over, like I just that's a trauma response of mine. I know that, I'm aware of it, I'm owning that. I just want to, like, oh but that was a very big guard let down of mine was like, there's n it's go if it's catastrophic, it's still gonna be catastrophic. I can't fix it. There are more than enough people back at home to have anything fixed that can be fixed,
yeah.
you know? So it was like and it wasn't it and to that, like, I've never left town since, like it's a different mindset to leave town with with us and doing our venture versus the last. Like, I've never been in a position where I can just leave town. And I know that probably sounds weird to you, but, like, it's always been, like, I've never just had an agenda of being able to leave town. It's
Yeah.
always been, "What are you gonna bring back? What's your purpose or what's your"
All I can say, honey, is get used to it.
I know, just crazy, but it was just absolutely beautiful. I can't say enough. I would love to go back and spend longer at that
I
particular
would like to go
cabin.
there, and I don't know about that particular cabin necessarily, but something larger for the children, because I would like to take the children.
It's a great little area. It's really like it's really in between. Like you could go, and that was also the other great thing I appreciated it too was like
Oh, right down.
that itself is a like the cabin itself was a destination, but you were also like 50% between each things. Like you could go to the mountains and do the mountain hiking thing.
But you could walk. I mean, if the kids really wanted to do this and they're old enough to do this on their own,
Mhm.
they could have walked down the mountain,
Mhm.
down the S curve, and actually
Mhm.
walked down it like that other couple was doing.
Yeah.
And within
Kayaked.
walking range, yeah, there's the kayaks and the
Kayak rentals.
canoes,
Yeah.
and the water wasn't like
You couldn't swim
super
in it, but
deep at all. I don't think.
no, I don't think so. And it wasn't moving at a high rate of speed. But what I'm getting at, like temperature wise, I definitely wouldn't recommend swimming in it, but they definitely could have kayaked for sure or canoed or
Yeah,
something like that. But with that, so like there's
the
that activity,
hiking.
the hiking, and then like it's close enough too, because obviously you're in the mountains already, but you could go further in the mountains to do more mountain stuff or even skiing for that matter. And then you could even go to the beach.
There was powder
You
on the
could even
mountains.
go like because of where that particular location is in California, you've got beach access like
Another hour and a half.
yeah, like you're in such a great territory area to just enjoy just
There's
about
so
everything that
much.
nature could have to offer.
It's so beautiful.
So freaking beautiful. The outdoor fire was a like we cooked outside the entire time.
Oh, that's me, anyways. I mean,
Yeah, but then
it's gonna
like
happen.
the
The grill had never been used,
oh, I
so
know.
I
You were in heaven.
I burnt the
Paint.
paint off the entire bottom of it. That part of it, the grills that are half gas, half smoker.
Yeah.
I
Or have
obviously
yeah.
am gonna use the smoker side. So, and then I put cast iron on it, and then smoked bacon in the cast iron skillet, which was the bomb. And then we cooked what was that, salmon, like crab stuffed salmon or something.
Yes, that was crab stuffed salmon.
That was pretty good.
That was delicious. On top of a pasta, vegetable medley blend
Didn't
with
even mean for that to happen. It just kind of did.
oh, it was a
It was
really
good.
delicious dinner.
Uh,
Outside on this, like, 16 and it probably wasn't 16
It
feet.
probably is 16 feet. That thing was huge.
A 16-foot long table that
All cedar.
all cedar. It just you guys have gotta go check out the videos in this shorts. Like, I'm not doing this cabin any justice by explaining it, but it was
No, it was beautiful.
phenomenal. And even if you were eating inside the panoramic windows of the dining room, you were outside.
Oh yeah, or the bedroom. Like the bedroom, like get ready to go to bed, turn all the lights off, and
And
you see
open
the
all the
fire.
shades. Yeah, you could see
You
you could see
see
the
the
fire from
fire,
bed.
the clear sky, like all the stars from the perfect aligning of the skylights right
Mhm.
above you. Like, oh my god,
Yeah. I didn't realize how much, like, silence we needed.
I needed it really bad, and I didn't know. I really didn't know.
And we didn't book this cabin particularly because of and you guys were with us the night that we booked this cabin. Um, we didn't book
We
this
did a podcast that night.
yeah, we did, remember? And then we stayed up for 24 hours because it took us 5 hours to
Uh,
find this
yeah,
place. Uh, it was
that was
worth it.
another 24-hour night, 48-hour day.
Mhm. It was worth it. This cabin was absolutely worth it. So, if you guys would like the information, we'd love to share it. We don't know the owners or anything, we just happened upon
Yeah, so
gorgeous.
the location is actually called Forestville, Forestville, California.
Yeah.
A lot of vineyards. And another weird thing I didn't know that they did. Actually, two things I didn't know about in California. The, would you say walnut or almond?
Almonds.
Almond trees they farm.
Yes.
Like we would farm Christmas trees.
Yes.
They do almond trees
Yes.
and strawberries. Their strawberries are so good,
Yeah.
but they're all over the road.
It's because they overload the trucks.
Yeah,
But
but
so
the strawberries we got obviously at the market.
we did. So I actually knew all of this already about the almonds and the strawberries. So growing
You
up
did. I didn't.
growing up there in California, that was actually one of the things was, in the smaller towns, not obviously where we were, like, driving down the freeway where you can see them, but, like, they're the farmers, you actually go into the strawberry, um, fields and you pick your own.
That's
So you
where
pick
the
your
song
own
come from.
you
Strawberry fields forever.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a Beatles song.
Okay. So, yeah, like, as a little kid, we would pull over on the side of the road, we'd pay the farmer at the stand, and we'd go and we'd pick our own berries, or we'd pick our own fruit, or we'd often go like, back then, they had, orange groves, we'd go into the orange groves and we'd pick our own oranges, apples, um, just as a kid, that's,
Interesting.
like, that's what we did. The almonds thing, I think the almonds tree and the almonds, everything, all of that has happened since leaving, since me leaving California. But yeah, since being back and going back as many times as I have, like, that is one of their largest things now is almond trees. But think about all the almond products we consume
Yeah. Milk,
and milk. Yeah,
butter.
so many almond things, and it takes a lot to grow almonds, especially at the rate of which as the
When a
world
tree
is
grows.
consuming them, yeah, and you gotta think everything has a season, so you've gotta maximize everything,
Yeah,
so
but the place that they're growing it, it's like if it's like that all year round, can you imagine? That's why that all that stuff is so fruitful right there.
yeah,
Because if that
so
is the same climate year round, I don't know if it is or not. I'm just assuming because for rapid growth, you would have to almost have that.
yeah,
Are you looking it up?
yeah. Yeah, there's and I know that there's been quite a bit of controversy too about California and almond trees because, it takes a lot to grow an almond tree and they truck so have you ever seen those truckloads of bees that they're shipping down the road? You ever wondered why?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. So in Texas, sometimes you'll see 18-wheelers that are just packed with bees. Well, what they're doing is they're relocating those bees to pollinate the trees. So what did we lose?
Mhm.
We lost central camera. You want me to get up and press the button?
I got it. You
Okay.
keep going.
Um, so there's
I don't know why.
probably a setting since you've redone everything. So with that they'll take and they'll truck the bees for pollination, and people are talking about how many like bees we're losing and killing by just having to move them just so that we can grow almonds and how like detrimental it is to the bee population. Pretty crazy to think about. Bees and almonds. And I'm wondering, is your avocado toast non-milk harming bees? Maybe. Yeah, so is your avocado toast can harm bees, but a closer look at how popular crops can be. Turns out bees' labor is required to produce most avocados and almonds in the United States. Yeah. So it's not only the almonds, but it's also the avocados. So that's interesting. We need to be kinder to the bees. And we need to figure out how to protect the bees and what we can do to make sure we don't lose food sources because they do a lot of important work for us. But yeah, growing up, I remember going to the strawberry fields. And then another cool thing is I also remember growing up in the orchards for spare cash. My dad would go to the orchards and chop down the trees that were no longer producing or had died or received damage. And so the um, orchard owners would pay him to like chop this tree down, load it up and haul it off. And so, I mean, I think my youngest memory of that is probably 3 or 4. And I can remember, I had a yellow Fisher Price hard hat. I had a Fisher Price chainsaw and my Fisher Price tool belt. And I was just running around the orchards while my dad's, running a chainsaw, chopping this wood up and getting it ready for sale. And so he would load it up in the back of this old yellow, yeah, I wanna say it was a GMC, but it was yellow. Well, it was Rogers. He would borrow it because the wood wouldn't fit in the back of his little Toyota that he was driving. or whatever he was driving at the time. So, yeah. Fun stuff. But yeah, my origins go back to Cali. We'll see what happens. It's okay. We've got other cameras to choose from. So yeah, I'd be running around the orchards and be chopping up trees and chunking them, and then we'd haul them home, and that was that.
So, is anybody wondering why we went to California?
I don't know.
Do you think?
Probably.
Why? I mean, why would they pack all their stuff up and leave? What's so fantastic about?
Why are we going red to blue? I don't know.
No more donkey. Chasing that elephant.
Oh, there's so
That
much
elephant in the room.
There is so much in that statement.
Yeah, there is. Which one do you want to talk about? Elephant or the donkey?
Neither at the moment. Thank you.
Stay put. Microphone. I like to look at you. My sexy wife.
You're sweet. I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, while this is a great setup, it doesn't allow me to, which is why I said we needed to hang those up, because that camera actually needs to be more like here.
Yeah. Maybe.
We'll see.
We need longer HDMIs for that.
Yeah. Maybe we just need to get like drone cameras that just like float the whole time.
Good.
Good.
I'd have that noise though.
Yeah.
So why did we go to California, honey?
Well, we got invited to go speak at a HVAC Master of the Hustle event.
What does that mean?
It means we got invited by a total badass who teaches people how to be better, do better, and excel.
TBA?
TBA, total badass, yeah. So he teaches and shares what he knows, how he became successful, and because he wants other people to join him. And he hosted this event for the attendees, no charge. And
which is really cool.
Which is really cool.
By the way, because people don't do this.
People don't do this. We had a packed house. We were at the event space capacity was 100. We had 110.
While that doesn't sound like an astronomical number, I think it's a great number. Considering the max occupancy of the space, what it is for the entire building, and we were only taking up a portion of the building.
Yeah, and to that, like there were so many people that we had to go last minute and run and get rent chairs.
Yeah,
they were out of chairs. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, we knew there was going to be an extra 15 to 20 people that showed up unannounced,
and there was,
and it just happened.
Yep. Well,
which was great.
A lot of my social media sharing out and like his and so yeah, like everybody's following matters, right? And to that, when it comes to events, your network is your net worth because it matters for attendance.
For events, absolutely.
Yeah,
it does. Your reach matters, like to a certain degree. I mean, you're going to have all of your ads out on social media platforms. It's not necessarily where 100% of your stuff is going to come from, because we do other marketing styles as well, like mass emails or text messages, and
which
stuff
are
like
important.
They're the follow up to the people that aren't catching it on social media at the right time whenever it gets dropped or scrolling through it or it gets bypassed or whatever.
Yeah,
there's always that possibility that you get missed.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to put something on, but not really where I wanted to go with the conversation. So sorry, I got off topic.
No, you're fine. Yeah. So he invited us out, invited me to speak on stage. I was one of what did I say, 8 or 9?
I believe there's a card close by.
Got the list here. Oh. So here we go. Here's the deal. Like
Here's the lineup.
Here's the lineup. And I'm reading you this lineup because these guys that I spoke and ladies, women that I spoke with,
you should definitely go check them out.
Highly worth it. Phenomenal people. I spoke on stage with some heavy hitters. and shook hands with some people that are amazing. So Jason Walker hosted the event. He also did an hour-long presentation. Weldon Long, Closing Like a Boss. I highly recommend you go and look at his books. Go look up his stuff on social media. He's got a great story. Joe Crisera.
And hang on, back up to Weldon, because I'm going to post this at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. And he goes on tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yeah. We've got a
So,
class that we signed
might as well
up.
pitch him
Yeah.
while
So
you're in the middle of him.
Yeah, the class. So Weldon Long, if you guys have listened this long, I want you to go look him up. He's got a social media class, and I'm looking to see if I can find it on social media so I can tell you the exact name of it. Bear with me, guys. Okay, here we go. So it's a free webinar. It's called The Ultimate Residential HVAC Sales System. He goes live tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. Go look him up. So here's his little snippet about his stuff. It says the key to success is in residential HVAC business is having the right sales systems, procedures, consistent results with average talent. That's just a little snippet of what he's going to do. He's offering a free live webinar tomorrow. Go join it. This dude is phenomenal. He's got an unbelievable story. I was blown away.
And what does he look like? He's bald, right?
He is bald. Yes, indeed.
He's bald. He's a good looking guy. You'll notice who he is whenever he starts speaking, but just for reference, if you're trying to find
if you're trying to find him,
about. He'll probably be in a suit.
Yes. Yeah. And actually I should probably I'm actually gonna
And he's kind of got a lawyer's name.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna share this out right now, actually. And I'm gonna share this into our group. Sorry. I got distracted and I don't
You're fine.
to be. But I do think that this is great information.
So I spoke because I'm going to drop this at the certain time, and y'all are gonna, if you're this far into this, you might as well tune into this thing.
Yeah, join his free webinar tomorrow.
We're gonna be on it as well.
Yeah. Joe Crisera, his tagline was "What should we do?" He is also a sales trainer. He's, from my understanding, he specializes in electrical, which is what I love because there are not a whole lot of sales trainings that specialize in electrical. Everybody wants to touch plumbing and everybody wants to touch HVAC, but there's nothing really specifically geared towards electrical. And I like that about Joe Crisera's program.
Well, everybody's scared of electricity.
It only gives you one shot. Cassie Hedges asking the right questions. She did phenomenal in her presentation.
She did do good. That was her first time public speaking ever.
She knocked it out of the park, man. She was
for her first time going. I think she did great.
I think she did great too. Philip Clemens, they call him the mastering the airflow unicorn.
So, guess what happened?
He is so Phil Clemens. I love him and his wife Jenn. See, I did it. I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry, Jess.
I hope she watches this.
I know, right? Okay, so
hey, Jenn.
Yeah, it's
Jenn Clemens.
It's Jess and Philip, and so
Jenn Clemens.
People thought Philip and I were a couple, but we're not. Like, I never met this dude. No, we're not. I never met this dude before. Our last names are just close. Like, the only difference is his last name is missing a T. That's it. So great dude. He works with Jason as far as doing on-sites and trainings and things like that. Then we had Drew Cameron, Show Me the Money. So Drew Cameron, he blew me away in the fact that he was like, I've been following your story for years. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, that made me so much more nervous when he came up and told me that before I went on stage.
How?
Yeah.
And what do you know? What did you write down?
What did I write? Oh,
no,
yeah.
What did he write down? Like,
I don't know.
What for years?
Yeah, like,
what does that mean?
What the fuck?
Whoa, that's cool.
What did you do? There? I'm
confused.
What did you do?
Whoa.
What? Is that the middle camera or a camera?
I don't know what happened there.
I'm so glad it was nothing inappropriate.
Okay, I want to do it again.
What is that?
That's an old clip from, I don't know, it's saved.
I'm so glad I was in Jammas.
Nice. Well, it was saved to this, I don't know.
All right.
Saved to the ATEM.
So
there's not even a card in the ATEM right now.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, so Drew Cameron, show me the money. Look him up. He's also a really good salesperson. Talks about procedures. What?
It just cracked me up.
Oh, I'm like, what did I say? Did I say a funny word? Some Seth Uri, Ure. He is with Good Leap Financing. He had some really good points on offering financing for people.
Yeah, so there's never a no. Like there can be a no, but there's always a way around a no whenever you're in sales. No matter what sales you're in, there's always a way around no.
Yeah.
Or I've got to talk to my wife, or I've got to talk to my spouse, or my husband, or whatever it is, partner. Doesn't matter. All right, let's get the partner on the phone. Let's figure this out. Like, what's really the barrier here? Like, what are we
Right.
talking about? And the barrier typically comes down to it being a financial barrier because one person is able to spend money and the other person is not. And majority of the time, whenever these sales calls are being done at homes, in the trades, the provider is out doing his job providing, while the one that is at home is doing the house stuff, right? Taking care of the house, getting the people to show up to help take care of the house.
Ultimately, what it comes down to.
Whatever.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is before you even showed up at the home, the couple, whatever the dynamic of the couple is, the couple had an idea in mind about what this project was going to cost.
Yes.
And they already had the discussion of, yeah, I'm thinking it's probably going to be this. Yes, I think it's going to be about that. Whether or not they decided,
not every time,
not every time, but a majority of the time, they've already had this preconceived idea of what they think this fix or repair is going to cost. You are not privy to this information beforehand. So you just get to go in and guess. And so then you're trying to skirt the guesses and the objections. You're trying to basically clear the objections so that you can complete the sale. And one of those being, oh, well, that's outside of our budget. Okay, well, I understand. Well, instead of taking and reducing your price, which cuts into your overhead, and each one of these stacked on top of each other as far as presentation goes. And so the lineup makes sense, right? But so the Good Leap financing, he's basically like clearing the objection and being like, make it a affordable monthly thing. And don't select the customer you're offering finance options to. And he even went into like, there was a different term besides financing because like the word financing is completely out the window now.
Yep.
So like that part, and I didn't retain what he was talking about, but I was also working and shooting content at the same time. But I did catch the fact that the word financing or financial options is dead. I did catch that much of it. And then after Seth was myself, and I talked about.
Did it again on accident.
You're so silly. Harnessing the power of your mindset was my presentation. And
she walked out to walk around the club. But everybody.
Yeah, I kind of blew everybody out of the water with that. Everybody was like,
the hell?
What the hell is this? And then Joe Cunningham
is what's this walking out in a bright pink ass dress?
And I've been seeing her
about
ass
4.5 feet tall.
Yeah, on a good day. Joe Cunningham, he's like, you're doing the work. Quit leaving the profit. So there's a really amazing lineup. These are some like rock stars.
The last guy should have been somewhere up on the front line, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He had a lot of great topics that majority of the room, like, all right, you got to understand, sitting through 9 or 10 hours, and I'm sure you guys do understand this.
Of talking at people.
Yeah. So you've got to break it up. You've got to have breaks. You've got to interact with the crowd. You have to have the crowd interaction with the people that are speaking. There are a lot of important factors whenever it comes to doing one of these.
Yeah.
That have to happen. Like, in order to keep your room, you must work your room and you must work your room well. You must not talk whenever they're talking to you because they legitimately have something to get out. Let them get it out so that you can move on. Because if you engage in it, you're going to be stuck. And if you get stuck and you don't have a bailout person, you're stuck. And if you want to know what a bailout person is, well, your bailout person is your partner or whoever you took to the event with you, and you better have taken somebody to the event with you, especially if you're speaking, because you're going to need a bailout partner. You're going to need someone that you signal somehow. You flash your hair, you pop your shirt collar, whatever, touch your ear. There's a signal that goes, I need out. I need to move to the next person. And that person comes over and
It could even be a
bumps you
word.
out.
It could even be a word. Like it does. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm usually not close enough to hear a word. There's got to be
no,
a,
yeah, but no,
because I'm engaging too with other
yeah.
people.
As you, yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely were. Absolutely. But to that, a majority of these people that were there, so Weldon Long had someone with him. I don't think Cameron had anybody with
Yeah, a
him.
lot of people didn't come doubled up.
But to that, they'd also done a shit ton of these events. Like they are very well weathered in public speaking events.
Yeah.
So yes, they are very well weathered and know how to handle those types of situations. So.
Yep. So during your speech, honey,
Mm-hmm.
can you hit a little bit on that? Not too much, because I want people to watch it, but give a little bit of highlights, and then let's talk about this text.
Yeah. Okay. So I went into a little bit of my story. I had right at 35 minutes on stage, which goes by really quick. Luckily, I'm already a naturally fast paced speaker. And so I remember thinking, okay, I'm done. And I looked back at the clock and I had 22 minutes left. And I was like,
In front of the camera, you are naturally a fast-paced speaker.
yeah,
When we are sitting down like this, you are not naturally fast-paced. You like to sit here and process.
yes, this is a different type of
I know.
environment.
What I'm saying is you're really great on stage.
Yes.
Take the compliment.
Thank you. No, yeah.
Whenever you're under the pressure of that camera being in your face, you're on point. You know your objective, and you know that if you have a time frame to meet, you're going to beat it
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost like a competition for you.
It is, and it's clicking. It's there. It's visually there. It was on stage for you to be like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it was almost like an 8-second bull ride because when it was done, the timer was like, brrr, like it was loud, like it was like, get off, you're done. Like
for real though, and to me it should be that way because you've got your over talkers and over speakers, and they
right.
end up messing up somebody else's talk time.
Right. So typically in the events that I've done in the past, there's usually so instead of having like you've got your presentation behind you, but then there's also a TV in front of you.
That has
and
the
so
same
you're
thing on
yeah, it does. So there's a timer. It's the screen is split in half. There's a timer on one side and your slide deck presentations on the other. So you're not turning around and turning your back to the crowd. It's like you're looking down and engaging at someone in the audience, but you're really looking at your screen to keep track of where you're going.
Yep.
And so that's what I was anticipating was going to be there because that's what I've had in the past. That wasn't how this one was set up, which is perfectly fine. That's just what I was thinking. They just had they had a separate timer, set up.
Yeah, it was just off to the side.
Off to the side, which is totally cool.
Yeah, because you were working the stage anyways.
I was all over that stage. I was hyped up and nervous, but I opened with a joke, which was an actual like real thing that happened to me while I was in California.
Actually happened to us as well.
Yeah.
While we were there.
Funny as hell. But like so the joke
it's weird as hell is what it is.
The joke is it's not even really a joke because it is a funny story.
Fucking real. It's real life. It's dumb.
I was like, y'all state's fucking weird. So I went to CVS.
Literally, this is how this went down. Y'all state is fucking weird to a bunch of people that live in California. And they're like, yeah,
we know. Then thank you for saying it. You're welcome. But I was like, your state's fucking weird. And so I went into the story of telling them, like, I went to CVS because I, check my luggage. When I check my luggage, I don't like to put like body wash, shampoo, conditioner.
I'm afraid that it's
gonna bust. It's gonna go all over your. I've had that legit happen. And then you go to the place that you're going to doesn't have a washer and dryer. So what do? You can't wash that much soap out of your clothes. I'm sorry, you can't.
Nope.
Not without a washing machine.
Or water hose,
right? So I was telling him, I'm like, look, so I go and I'm checking out. Well, as I'm checking out, there's this line that's like continuously growing behind me. And I'm from out of state. So I'm already awkward anyways, because I'm like hyped up in the fact that this is not a normal place that I would go. And am I at a CVS that's in a safe part of town? Like I'm just hyper vigilant. And so I'm checking out. And so I place all my items on the counter. The lady rings them up and places them back on the counter. And she doesn't offer me a receipt or anything. And I'm like, and so then I insert my debit card, I pay, and I'm done. And I'm looking at her looking at my items, looking back at her, looking back at my items. She's looking at me, looking at the items like, "But you gonna get your shit and leave or what? Like, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, so now I'm starting to feel awkward, like I should know an inside secret or something of like what I'm supposed to do with these items. Like, am I like I don't? It's almost like I don't know the magic word for her to bag my items.
You wanted your groceries bagged?
I did. I was like, I don't know the magic words.
It's called bag my groceries.
I don't know the
Not
magic
eat
words.
them, but bag them, please.
I don't know the magic words for you to put my items in a bag. And so I'm just like, obviously, so then I just like very awkwardly like bend down and like scoop up my items and I'm trying not to drop any of them. So then now I feel like because I inserted my debit card, I'm like, did the transaction not go through? Maybe it went through. Does she not know how to tell me that it didn't go through? Like,
Can she not communicate?
That's what I'm worried about, right? Or maybe
Oh,
like,
shit.
yeah.
Am I not communicating?
Am I not communicating?
What's going on here?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So
Are we all just heads?
So now I'm like legit picking up my pace like to the door. I'm like, shit, fuck, like I don't know what to do. This is super awkward.
I don't even know how I'm gonna get in the car.
I don't even know how I'm gonna get in the car. I can't get my car keys. Like, and so then I get to the car and I try to get in. I'm dropping shit. Like, I'm sure, like, I know I didn't make it back with deodorant. Like, that was at least, I know I wasn't gonna crawl under the car. I was just done. I wanted to be over with the CVS experience. Yeah.
So that was her trip. And then our trip, when we went this time,
yeah,
we go to a grocery store.
I can't wait to tell this part of the story.
Which part? The bicycle?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So in California, the grocery stores have liquor in them.
Which is odd for Texas.
It is. I mean, I think there's some that have liquor in them. They're very, very small town liquor stores or convenience stores, I guess that you would call them.
I don't know.
Grocery stores. But
I have no
anyways.
idea.
And it's a weird variety of liquor.
Well, and to that, we went to the discount mart because we weren't going to be there very long.
It's local liquors and wine.
Yeah.
It's not like your name brands like Goose or Knob
Oh, this
Creek
is true. It was like they were knockoffs.
No, it's legit like around the area, probably made close
by.
True.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of unique and different and kind of cool. But
Yeah.
this little market really had everything that we needed, and it was called the discount market. And that's exactly what it was. But it had everything that
Yeah, it was like seconds in surplus of groceries.
It was a little bit better than Aldi's, but about Aldi style, right?
Yeah, but I will tell you
name brand
that the produce that they had was on point.
Yeah, the store was
produce
actually
was
pretty
delicious.
Cool. All right, so we check out, and this guy actually asked if we would like bags.
Would you like bags?
I'm like, excuse me, is that not normal?
He's like,
and
no.
then I looked at the bags, and the bags are like really nice, like super thick.
Oh yeah, we're used to like having to like double bag shit in Texas because the bags are just
these
crap.
Bags are like triple bag.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and he loaded them like they were triple bag.
Hell yeah, you can.
But it's because we paid for every single bag.
I don't know what we paid for each bag, but we got we got all of this stuff for $250.
It was less than that. It was $225
with the bags.
Yeah. At home, that grocery load would have cost $500
with 3 bottles of liquor that we didn't drink.
Didn't even open.
They look nice sitting on the bar there.
Yeah.
But we never drank them.
Whoever at the B&B will enjoy them because it wasn't like we brought them home.
No.
I don't need
to. But
to.
Anyway, so we get all this stuff out to the car. We're actually out to the car at this point. And here comes rolling up on this tricycle, with the buddy basket. And then he had a trailer.
Yes.
Behind the buddy basket.
Yes.
With the speaker. I swear that speaker was 4 foot tall.
It had to be as tall as I am.
Biggest damn speaker he could find.
Yep.
And when you turn your music up so damn loud that it's distorted, it just sounds like absolutely just trash.
Yeah.
All right. So this guy's rolling into the parking lot. I catch him out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, okay, he's going to roll through. So we're loading the groceries, and get down to the last bag and turn around to go put the cart up. And this fucking guy has got his entire setup in the motherfucking
rolling
store.
into the grocery store,
I'm like,
pedaling into the
God,
grocery store.
thank you for getting us out of there.
Yes, thank you, Lord. It just cracked my ass up, and I was like, you were like, is he going into the grocery store? And I'm like, no, surely not. He's gonna park it because he swung wide like he was gonna park it, and then you go, nope, he's driving that sucker straight in. I said, no, he's not.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh.
He pedaled that right on inside.
Oh my goodness.
I was like,
He
no
must be
way.
related to.
I was like, no. Oh, yeah, Mr. Oh my God. California, man. I almost like if had we had enough time leaving the house to the airport, all of the groceries and stuff that we had left over that we didn't eat. And I thought about like,
Giving it to the homeless.
giving it to the homeless. And we would have had time because we stopped at a restaurant and then there were a couple people that were homeless outside. I didn't finish my meal, didn't even touch my burger. We had 2 things of water, which you can't take through the airport anyways,
that we had a bunch of extra drinks
that were like unopened. And so
nobody wants to see my foot.
Nobody wants to see that. So I met a nice young man on the corner who just said he was struggling. He spoke really well. And he was ready to work. And he even asked me, he said, do you know anybody who has a job? I would like to work. I said, I do not. I said, I do not. I said, this is all I have and I'm not from the area, but I will pray for you. And he said, I really appreciate that. I hope you have a really blessed day. He was a very, very nice young man. So I gave him a meal and some water.
You're very sweet.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even tell you what I was doing.
I knew what you were doing when you got out. I'd already connected eyes with him.
Mm.
And I saw that you'd done the same. I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you just don't have to speak, honey.
I know. But yeah. We
needed that. We needed that for us. We needed that whole trip really for us.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I absolutely agree.
I know that I needed a reset mentally. I actually got a physical reset as well. My body finally relaxed, as it hasn't done in quite some time, which allowed my mind to relax.
Yeah. There was something special about that place.
Yeah.
It will probably always hold a special place. Not that anything crazy happened or anything chaotic happened or anything God-given happened in that particular time, but
it was just so graceful.
Yeah. And we met some amazing people and heard some great stories. And I appreciate that about these events is the networking component. And I loved that they hosted an event for afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those I would do again for a long period of time. Maybe an hour or 2.
Oh,
the afterward stuff.
Yeah, like what Jason did. Jason showed up and then he left. Yeah.
I think it would have been cool to do bowling there because.
Oh yeah, like an activity.
Did you walk to the back?
I did walk to the back.
The bowling lanes are really cool.
It would have been nice to do an activity.
I wonder if they have those here. I've heard of that name around here.
The Punch Bowl Social.
Yeah,
I'll look it up and see if we've got one.
Because I would be interested in taking that might be the one that I saw downtown. Whenever we were looking,
there is one Punch Bowl Social in Dallas.
In Dallas,
mm-hmm.
Is there one in Fort Worth?
I will look
that one in Dallas. See. That one in Dallas is like a multi-story building, isn't it?
I can't tell. I'm not looking at it. Let me see.
I think whenever we were looking at the pickleball, that popped up.
Oh, okay.
But anyways.
Yeah. So the only one that's popping up, I said near me, and it was Dallas. So.
Pretty cool place. They have darts. They have axe throwing. They have bowling. And they have just all these cool little hangout areas with actually really great views of the city.
Oh, it was so cool. Yeah.
Because it's like up probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, it's really freaking cool. So they've got places. They're in Austin, Chicago, Dallas, and Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Ranchero, California, San Diego, please go away. Denver, Milwaukee, Portland, Sacramento, Cleveland, Austin downtown, and Atlanta. So Austin Domain, Texas, and the Austin downtown. So there's 2 in the Austin area, and then there's 1 in Dallas.
That Austin Domain area is pretty fireplace. That's where I built that last Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, so Punch Bowl Social, if anybody's looking for a cool hangout, that actually was really neat.
Yeah. So anyways, we get through all of that, and then after the Punch Bowl thing was just after that event. It was right after that event. So the next day, the entire next day, we literally are in relax mode for that day and the following day.
Yeah, vegetative.
We cooked at the house. We hung out at the house.
Mm-hmm.
We had no TV. We had no
No.
phones.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we had our phones. There was a TV there. We could have done anything that we wanted to do. And we did exactly what we wanted to do.
Yes.
We did a full reset.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to come home.
Part of me wanted to come home. Part of me wanted to stay at least 2 more days.
I did want to stay at least 2 more days. Yeah.
The part of me that wanted to come home was our babies.
Yeah.
And if they would have been with us, I probably wouldn't have came home.
If they were with us, I probably would have been ready to come home.
I don't know.
Yeah. They don't like being outside of their normal for very long.
Certain ones of them. Other ones, I think, would have enjoyed the wilderness a lot more than you think. I
Potentially.
think there's 2 of them that would have spent majority of their time gone.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Then we would have had to check them for ticks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But no,
It's
it's
fine. I want kids.
Yeah.
I want our kids to grow up like that. Honestly, I do. I want them to spend time enjoying the things that when they're adults, they're not going to get to.
Right. Yeah.
Because we all get caught up in this fast-paced lifestyle of I've got to make money and I've got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want these things, this is what I got to do to get there. And then your mind is stuck on that. And I want to encourage everybody that's mind is stuck on that right now. Is just close your eyes, take a deep breath.
I challenge you to unplug for 24 to 48 hours.
Get away. If getting away is even just shutting everything off and going and sitting in a dark room, then that's what it is. It doesn't mean you have to spend money to go somewhere to reset.
No, it doesn't. You can do it in your own home, but you've got to have the mental fortitude and toughness to not give in to turning things back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You can do it.
Yeah. And if we cared enough, we could have had Wi-Fi working. Like it wasn't.
Oh, I could have had everything lit up. Like I would have hotspotted something to something else. Like
there was internet there. I'm sure it was just a matter of like, I don't know.
The point is that the reset needed to happen, and we talked about it prior to.
Yes.
And we wanted it. And I legit got to have my wife one-on-one without anything. And I loved every second of it.
Me too. Yeah. My favorite was just sitting outside on the patio, like laying on your chest and just feeling you breathe in and out and hearing your heart and just.
We were so relaxed.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was looking at this tree, right? I want to go back to the story for a minute because this was funny. I was looking at this tree, trying to find a treetop. So I'm like gazing, like I'm just kind of trimming everything out as far as I can see. And I finally find one. And whenever I find one, like right next to me up here, there's a railing. Mm-hmm. And so there's this squirrel at the end of it. And he's checking me out the entire time that I'm just kind of scanning. But I'm scanning with my eyes, not my full head, just my eyes. Because I see him jump up. And in front of us, we had those little like peanut butter crunch ball things that you put in the freezer.
They're so good.
They are really good.
I saw those and I was like, he's going to love these.
They are good. I love peanut butter. But they were sitting in front of us because we were snacking.
You know that's what he was smelling.
Oh, absolutely. And so he's inching up closer and closer and closer to where, okay, we'll call like, I guess you can't see this. All right, where can you see?
I bet if
All
you
right.
go to your
Anyways,
camera.
like the edge of my armrest over here. I don't know if you can see it in my camera or not.
Nope.
No. Anyhow, this little dude was probably this far from us, and then right over here, right over over there,
Yeah.
right behind me was a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And about the time that he was this close and closing in, and he was eyeballing the
The
peanut butter
treats.
balls,
Yeah.
he looked at me, I looked at them, looked at me, and he was trying to figure out if I was asleep or awake or what I
Yeah.
was going to do.
Yeah.
I went, boo. Anyway,
he yeeted himself.
I was like, where the hell did you go, bro?
I don't know, but maybe it's safer. That was crazy.
Animals are funny.
They are. That was really funny.
And
that's
then the next morning, you got up and went out to the vehicle.
the
You want to tell your
vehicle.
story?
Yeah. So I had Claude. I couldn't find any of my shoes that I wanted to wear because, like, I don't know, I couldn't find any of them. So I'm like, man, whatever. Plus, I didn't want to put in the energy to find them. Like, let's be real, they were probably on the deck. Like, I am
Probably
the
right in front of you.
I am the worst. Like, when I'm done wearing shoes, they come off wherever, and that's it. Like, I don't go back and pick them up. I don't put them away. They just are where they are. The worst about my shoes. I just take them off. And
I agree.
huh?
I agree.
Yeah. I just take them off. So, I keep going to my closet looking for shoes, and I'm like, I don't have any shoes to wear. And it's like, oh, well, it's because there's 3 pairs in the living room, 2 are in here. Like, they're just everywhere.
You're like, I need more shoes.
No, you just need to put them away.
Pick them up.
Yeah, so I'm going out to the vehicle the next morning, and I'm like, I can't find any shoes. So your shoes are always where they're supposed to be. So I put yours on, and I'm like, I wear a size 7 in women's, which is like, I think a 5.5 in kids' shoes. Tiny, tiny feet. So I'm clod hoppers is what I call them in his, and I'm like, like just being loud, just loud, not thinking anything is around us. Like, I'm not. So I hear it because it's all gravel. Like, I'm like, whoa, what is that? Like, I'm thinking it's probably the squirrel again, and then I see this gorgeous doe. She's so pretty. And then she still has 2 fawns with her.
Yeah.
And they're still spotted. Like, they're still spotted fawns. So there's
babies.
They're still babies. Yeah. Gorgeous and beautiful. And I'm like, I'm just standing there in awe. I'm like, of course I don't have my fucking phone on me. Like, not that I could post it or anything, but I could at least take some video of it. But I got to witness it. It was absolutely beautiful. And you could tell that this was one of the places that they frequented a lot because they had a trail that they, had gone down to.
So there was a garden area there, and I'm sure there was plenty of stuff that
They snack on.
they could eat.
And it's a safe space, right? There was no hunting or anything
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
super quiet.
Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous deer. But yeah, they were still spotted baby fawns with their mamas. Or mama. I think she had 2. I think, yeah. At least I saw 3, whatever that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, so I went on stage to speak and talked about mindset, talked about, told, my story, pointed everybody in the way of the podcast. I told my story pretty freaking quick, like I had mentioned already, told it really fast, and which allowed me to open up the stage or open up the audience to questions, which was nice. And some of the questions I wasn't expecting. I didn't think, honestly, when I opened up the floor for questions, I really expected crickets. I didn't expect the engagement that I got. So I had no anticipation of what I was going to get, but I'm pretty good about answering questions on the fly. So it wasn't like I was scared about the questions I was going to get either. But I was truly amazed.
Honey, you totally knocked this thing out of the park.
Thanks, boo.
I'm going to be real for a minute with everybody. And I'm not dissing anybody at this event by any means. But to me, and I'm, yes, maybe a little biased, I understand. This event is for HVAC, basically for HVAC sales, from what I could gather, right? Do you feel the same way? Why is my camera
Yes.
so far off?
Yes, we wait. Yes. Sorry. Um,
Can you move my camera?
yeah, baby, of course.
I'm way out of it. Here you go. That's good. Thank you. All right, so we're at this event, and yeah, there's some amazing people. And what's triggered us to do another event here is there's one just absolute amazing person. And there's not one thing, one certain thing that makes her just super special, amazing. She's just all around 100% genuine and true and real, and doesn't have to put on a show to be herself. Like, there's so much to this human being that sets her apart from everybody else, which is why she is what she is. She's a big success, and she always will be because she brings it.
Thank you, honey.
So obviously, I'm referring to her. She needs to run the show,
I have in the
and so she's
past.
going to.
Yeah. And I have in the past. I mean, let's be real, like I have in the past, like
Well, I know.
the launch events were 100% coordinated and hosted by me.
I
And
know.
that last launch event was a huge success. Phenomenally
You had a
huge
little bit of
success.
help. I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
No, yeah, I did. But I'm talking about as far as like,
But talking through the whole thing, it was you talking the entire time.
yeah.
We had guest speakers, yeah, but there weren't motivational speakers. We had our vendors come up and speak until they got to tell their story about what they do, like
Yeah, they got floor
for their
time.
company.
Yeah, they got floor time.
So they're small business owners that do nothing around what we were pitching for this app,
Yeah.
right? So they do payroll. There was so many different aspects of people
Yeah, I agree.
and businesses that really had nothing to do with the overall topic.
Yeah.
Um, it did, but it didn't. Everything tied into the app, but it wasn't really a motivational like hoorah, let's go
Yeah.
in one direction,
Right.
trade specific or
Right.
trades in general, or the audience. Like, so the audience was kind of my part of gathering the audience around
Yeah.
what it is we were trying to pitch to everyone.
Right.
And it's not that we were trying to pitch it, we pitched it.
Yeah.
You pitched it. I gathered the people. Literally went out and door knocked for the vendors.
Mhm.
Got the vendors to show up.
Mhm.
They were stoked to show up. Like, I'm pretty amazed about how easy it is, and maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's my personality going into these places. Um, but I'm pretty amazed at the fact that these people wanted to come so easily.
Yeah. We didn't get a lot of no's.
I got some, but a no doesn't scare me.
No, it
Like, a
doesn't.
no triggers me to go higher up.
Mhm.
And I was only touching management on purpose. Like, we're not at the level yet, and the app wasn't at the level yet to go to ownership.
Mhm.
And so all I wanted was what I got. which was just the speakers
Yeah, that was great.
on the management level.
We set out and accomplished what our agenda and objective was.
Yeah, and we did it on like a fire run. Like, okay, well, we don't have any spots that are filled yet, and we only got 10 days till the event, so I'm gonna need you to go fill the spots. And I'm like, all right, well,
Yeah,
I got work to
we
do, so
lined the
y'all
venue.
won't see me.
Yeah,
I'll be gone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was 20. Was I 21 weeks?
I
22
don't know, but
weeks
there was a
pregnant?
lot of hospital time involved in that too.
Well, and my body just essentially gave out afterwards. I pushed myself too hard
You
to make
did.
that event happen while pregnant.
You did.
Didn't feel like I had a choice though either.
I understand that.
So, but I'm grateful that my body held out. We have a healthy child. I just want everybody to know, like, I did all of that
While
while
pregnant.
pregnant.
Oh, our child is gorgeous.
He's so handsome. Yeah. So it's not like I haven't hosted an event before. And I know what
It's not like you haven't done public speaking. We've done all from A to Z on the spectrum of events.
Yeah.
From shooting the content to now having editors on our team to being able to produce it all back out for each individual speaker, for them to be able to then create their own. So this is the idea, right? Is we capture, as far as the content goes, we capture each speaker and then we turn around and give them their content so they can turn around and set up the next deal and invite us in, and so on and so forth. So it should be a next spin. Next person takes the baton, and maybe we get one, and we hand it off and go, "Okay, it's your turn. You go set up the next one."
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
And then they set it up, and then we all show up to the next one. Maybe a different group, but the people that we hand it to, like, we're showing up to it.
Right.
If we're starting the process,
Right.
we will be a part of every one of them.
Yeah.
And then we get a part of being a part of that lineup and how that is scheduled as well.
Right. Yeah.
Because if they're hosting it and they want to go first, I'm fine with them going first, but that makes you second.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, I get it. I 100% get it. No, I love all of that. I am just, and that's what
and we're doing this conversation right now is obviously on the fly. So y'all know how we do shit by now, hopefully.
Yeah. So it's like I've done all, and I guess, not that I guess, I know that that's why when I go into events like this, I've got such a level of appreciation. I know the hard work. I know the fear. I know the not sleeping. What if people don't show up? What if we have empty seats? What if people don't stay for all of the speakers? What if people get, like, there's so much fear and anxiety that goes into a successful event that people don't even consider unless you have hosted one yourself. And I know that.
If you're just the people showing up, you have no clue.
None at all. They don't know that the stage didn't show up on time. They didn't know that you didn't get half the lights. They don't know. Like, there's so many things that they don't know.
Lighting matters.
Nor should,
tables matter. Chairs
or
matter.
layout matters.
Food, drinks,
snacks. And they did drinks and snacks right, because there was energy drinks to keep the crowd awake. And I appreciate that, because so many places don't do energy drinks. And I'm like, dude, splurge and give the freaking Red Bull, man. Like, keep them awake and interested, because your people with ADD
I'm gonna
are
tell
going
you
to
right
tune
now,
the fuck out.
I had so many freaking energy drinks. I've never had that many energy drinks ever.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm lucky I didn't go into cardiac arrest.
Same. I know that I had at least 6, probably 10. Honestly.
I did not.
I mean, I was moving around like a
had...
freaking crackhead. I can tell you that.
I had at least 4 that day, but that's a lot for me. Like,
4 is a lot for you just to consume in liquid.
Yeah, liquid form. It's a lot. And they were this size.
Oh, yeah, tall boys.
They were huge.
It was a fun event, but I'm excited for the next one. We're gonna start planning it. It'll probably be a year from now.
Yeah, that's honestly how long it takes.
It'll be a year.
Well, so here's the deal. In the fall, it's trade show season.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Because everybody's slowing down.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
little
training
soft.
season.
It's a soft spot.
It's training season. It's where it's
It's
at.
not a hard stop, but it's a soft spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's needed in a soft spot timing wise for technicians.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a hoorah, it
Mm-hmm.
needs to happen in that soft spot time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm. And it
and there
needs to
should
happen for
probably
your.
be two.
It needs to happen for your whole staff.
Yeah, there should probably be two of these that if you're in the trades that you attend during both soft spots, and y'all know what I'm talking about. There is two of them that happen every year for sure in your business.
Yeah, and it's different time, and it's different months based off of like where you're
What you
located.
do
I
and
mean,
where
what you do and where you're located, but find something to attend that's going to grow your technicians' mindsets. And whether that's in mindset and sales, whether that's in management, whatever it is, whether it's just mindset and changing who they are as a human being and how they process things. But find something that they can pour into or that will pour into them, because ultimately, if you pour into your people, they're going to pour back into your business.
absolutely. If you
Um,
do it right.
hmm
And there's a right way and a wrong way to do this.
Yes. Yep.
I've seen both.
Word, big bird. Yeah, I have. I've lived both.
Yeah.
I've lived both.
Oh man.
But yeah, so my
It starts at the top. It really does. It starts at the very top. And if the top person doesn't have the right mindset, the bottom person will never have it.
Yep. It's 100% true.
It has got to flow all the way through. And it's a very important thing to keep business and personal separate. I know that's hard to do for a lot of small companies,
Yeah.
but you have to. You can. You just have to. Don't put your office where you live. Don't shit where you eat. Honestly, too much shit goes into the office that is personal that should never enter the office doors. Never, ever, ever should it go into your office doors. So once it's in there,
Well,
it's cancer.
and here's the deal too is it's like in my personal experience is like once that happened where the everything was transitioned to the like one location, residence and business, the business then became a hobby
Yeah.
and it was no longer a business.
Well, look,
And
as an owner, and you can hire me to coach you as an owner.
yeah,
And I actually encourage every owner to have a freaking coach, personal trainer, coach, whatever you want to call them. Maybe I need to change the verbiage up to be a personal trainer.
personal trainer I thought was like for I work out,
This is working out.
working your
I'm gonna
mind.
work your mind to death
Yeah.
because you need it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if you are if you're not putting in the work and you're expecting everybody else to, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna win.
Yeah. And I said it really well on stage. You cannot sell yourself out of bad policies and procedures. There's not enough sales out there if you do not have good SOPs and POPs. You can't do it. So what? You're training your sales team. Fantastic. But
No, well, yeah, you can send them to every damn training event there is.
yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't mean they're going to do shit with it because guess what? If you don't believe in it, neither do
What's the
they.
follow through? What's your
What are the repercussions?
what are your procedures in the office? What are your like that's all fantastic, but you can't sell yourself out of bad policies and procedures. Or bad management for that matter.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, say your manager is your main manager, your main mofo, right? He's handling all your stuff, and you just go to one person. That's nice. You think that one person is running your business the way you want it run?
Probably not.
He's going to tell you it is.
Yeah.
But is it getting done?
I don't know. How do you check up on him? What checks and balances do you have in place?
I don't have any. I just trust him.
Cool. Let me know when you're looking for a job in 3 years.
It's only going to take 3 years.
Usually that's
I
about
got
how long
3
it
years.
that's usually about how long it takes.
I'll take that chance.
Okay. Better you than me.
But for real, that's literally what kills businesses is you. I'm guilty of this too. All right. So it's hard for me to say. It's easy and it's hard for me to say. I did this. I still stayed in tune with everything close because I can't let anything go 100%, which helped me in the long run whenever I had to get rid of this person. But I had someone close because I didn't want to get close to the technicians.
You needed a buffer.
I didn't. And so I had a general manager. And for the most part, he did a great job. For the most part, he told me what I wanted to hear. And I'm not like most people that will sit back and go, okay, and listen to somebody feed you full of shit and ignore everything else around you.
Yeah.
I'll listen to what he said, but then I grab my keys to my truck and a laptop and I go sit in my truck and I pull up every address of every job site that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I physically go check on them myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I cross examine what I've been told by him
Mm-hmm.
and what's actually fucking going on.
Right.
All right. So then,
So it's not that you're managing the job site. You're not managing any of it.
no, but then I come back to the office for review time. And almost every time I was lied to. And that's not the stage of the job. And you know why I was lied to? Because he got so comfortable in his job and his situation that he thought nothing can touch me. I'm fine. I'm the owner's pet. I'm the mouthpiece. I am who he's going to talk to, and I'm going to be the person that talks to the GCs. And all I've got to do is deliver information to the main guy running the job, make sure that he's reporting that back to me. I don't even have to go to the job sites. That's really what it turned into. He stopped even
Mm-hmm.
going to the job sites and getting a report from the guy running the job site. All right.
Right.
So how are you really going to know what's going on if your ass is not out there checking on my jobs? I'm paying you to go check on my jobs. You have a company truck, you drive all over the place, plus you get a gas card, you drive it home, all this shit. So how do I know that you're truly checking on my shit? Well, I don't know unless I go out there myself.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you're the owner and you have a general manager filling you full of all these good details,
Yeah. And
if you're
to that,
not,
and now they've got so many other great, like they've got company cam, I think is what it's called, that takes then you have to put the pictures in the company cam and give it an update every single day. So if
yeah,
you've got you can set you can set all that
I'm
up
not
in
about
there.
spitting all of the. Personally, yes, love the idea.
I'm just saying that, like,
I'm
if you've got so many projects going on and it's not that you can drive to the job site,
Mhm.
maybe you can't go to the job site, something like that. Like, because there's some of these businesses that handle projects that are
out of state.
out of state.
Yep.
Like, that's why I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate the company cam because you got a little bit better handle about what's going on. And maybe that allows you to open up and handle more things where it's like, hey, I need the job status picture updates
Yeah.
of the job. That holds everybody accountable as well. Not only that, but then you've got that picture update daily to show the progress of the job to hand over to whoever you're.
Yeah, so I really appreciate pictures, and I know general contractors do too. So
Yeah.
from a whole nother perspective of what we're going to be doing with this electrical company, we'll have deliverables of other things, which will honestly take this into a completely different situation.
Do you talking about the content creation portion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I plan on making every job site content.
Well, yeah, like, would you like the content? Like, here's the package of your building being built. Would you like it?
Not like a service call, but the industrial stuff, the commercial stuff.
Yeah, like the ground up stuff, the mega big
So
stuff.
yeah, if
Yeah.
I'm doing a Texas Roadhouse and I'm getting like full blown, like I'm getting shots of telling the story from foundation all the way to roof.
To ribbon cut, even for that
Yeah,
matter. Like CO level, like certificate of occupancy.
like
Like how
all
great,
the
like
way
that's an
through.
amazing piece of content.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. And how, like, and here's the deal is like we could go out there, and not only that, now we've got the editor team. And so then I'm able to, like, throw it all
Oh
over
my
to the
gosh.
editor. Would you like to
It would
purchase?
only take one time, and then the door, you wouldn't be able to keep the door.
Yeah.
They'd be blowing through it.
I'd have to hire people for the agency.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's why it's called an agency. It's a big name because it's going to be a big thing.
It is. It is. Yeah. So I think now that we've talked about like why we were out of town, what our big goal is now, the shift that we've had, I think we'll address the message that I've got from we got our very first subscriber message that asked us about our opinion on a situation. And so I think our next episode is going to be, because we're right at the, I think 100, clipping up on that 100-minute mark.
We got about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a different mindset. I think that would be a hard turnaround. I think we should stick with the business and this public speaking and stuff for this particular episode. And
Oh,
then,
you want to leave that?
What do you mean?
You want to leave it for the next episode?
Yeah, leave this text message for the next episode.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere. It's great content.
Yeah, if this person is watching, if you would like to do this, like jump on and do this, please shoot us a message, and let's do this as a group.
It may
effort.
it may be a public, or not it may be a private thing that she was just looking for advice on, which is totally understandable. But the message came through. I, as always, addressed. I read you the message. We talked about it, and then I put together the reply. I read you the reply, and I hit send because this is a collaborative effort on our mindset.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to. And then we dove off into like a 45-minute conversation based off this. And I was like, save it. This is podcast stuff. Save it. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay. So yeah, my social media is blowing up.
Right now, currently?
Yeah. Like I'm getting messages still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very,
yeah.
very special.
You're special.
I'm special.
Special.
I got.
I special. Sarsaparilla. What's going on over there?
Okay. Leadership conference for the trades, but with 95% women speakers.
All right, let's dive into that.
Okay, here we go. The majority, I will say this post is public. It's on my Facebook page. I don't know if this person is being sarcastic. I don't know. I do not.
What do you do not?
I don't know. I don't know how to take this comment. So I don't know how to take it.
Just read it.
I will say, like, let me go through the positive first before I address this.
Just go through all of them. Start at the top.
So I got hand claps. I got somebody said, hey, there's women in HVACR. I said, hey, well, that's fantastic. That is, I don't want to go to an event and have AC shoved down my throat when not everyone is in HVAC or is in the HVAC industry. Why can we not have a blanket trade event for women? instead of very trade specific. I'm glad that they have that. It's a very large industry and they serve quite a few women. I'm very proud of them for that. And then there's another one that says straight fire. And there's another that says love this. Let's get together. She would love this. And then I had another man. And so here's the deal: is like there are men tagging women like, do this. This is it. This is it. Like that. That to me,
It's finally here.
It's finally here. Like there's somebody who wants to do this, and who's loud. That is I. And then there's other women tagging other women, and then
Honey, you're not even loud.
Thank
you're
you.
just
Loud, I meant like I'm willing to draw the attention. I'm willing to speak out and point things out, like where we can do better. And then there's a man who actually said, I'd attend this for sure. Like, that's amazing. I love that. I absolutely love that. It wouldn't be like a women only attendance, it would be just women perspective on content or whatever their business. Yeah, whatever. And so the very last comment that's just rolled in, and like I said, I don't know how to take this. And so it says, "Is there a market for this?" Question mark.
Is there a market for this?
Question mark. Remind you, my post said leadership conference for the trades, but 95% women speakers, question mark. Was like, who's interested? It was kind of like an open-ended question, like who's interested? Is there something out there that's like this? Like, I wanted to see how my audience would respond, essentially is why I posted this. And his comment came in as, is there a market for this?
Leave it.
Oh, I intend to leave the comment. You wanted your hand out.
Somebody will
devour him. That's
Yeah.
on my social media page. Somebody will devour him. Yeah. And there are some very large conferences going on right now that I'm getting like,
kind of sad because he's got a big family. And he's
like I said, I don't know.
Got 2 little girls.
Like I said, I don't know how he intends this question, but from all the previous questions, like sometimes you got to read the room. Sometimes you have to read the room on your comments. And yeah. So there's that.
And by the way, I'm checking you out right now. Your profile pictures and your family.
He say what y'all don't understand about Jason, and I really hope you do. He safeguards by me so much. And if he just has just a tingling in his toe that someone is going to say something negative or hurt my feelings or come across as attacking or battering or anything, he is so protective. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. It's not control by any means, and it doesn't come across that way.
I just don't understand this guy. Like,
I don't get like I said, I already told you, I don't get the comment. Like,
I don't either, especially looking, I mean, they're just average, normal people doing average, normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 2 little girls. Like, why would you not want to empower women, dude? Like,
the comment should have been, "Can I bring my kids?"
I'm gonna sit here and call you out because your Facebook profile screams, "Look at my girls, look at my girls, look at my girls, look at my girls, look at my girls," and it should. You know why? Because you love them and you're proud. You're a proud father. You're proud to have 2 little girls, and you should be. You should also empower them.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how to take his comment. I don't know where he's coming from for it. I don't know if he means it jokingly after reading all of that. But I was very serious in my post and so what made me make this post, I am watching some seriously large hitting names, large figures in the industry posting on social media right now because they're attending these conferences. And there's one image in particular where it's 8 men sitting at a table. and they're bragging about the conversations that they had at the table. And the only thing I can see when I look at that is the lack of diversity. There's no diversity at that table.
Mm-mm.
Whether it's race, whether it's gender, whatever it is, there's no diversity at that table.
No.
None. And I called it out. I called it out in a comment on that picture. Has
Well-
it been addressed? No. Is it going to be swept on the rug? Probably.
So I've been at the same damn table, and I can tell you right now from experience, ain't shit happening at that table other than a bunch of dudes get to know each other, trying to plan a hunting trip or a fishing trip or some bullshit like that, trying to make a networking connection that's supposedly going to be a long-term connection, they think, in that moment, or they're hoping for that. And they think that they just had a brilliant conversation with someone that they believe, they truly believe. Then this is the hard part, guys. What I'm about to say, I need to switch cameras, but hang on. Why my phone loads.
The conversations in this table will change the way we do home service for generations to come. Let's go. There's not a single diverse, well, I guess there's maybe one diversity at that table.
Why am I not switching?
I called it out. Do you want me to go press the button and go to the middle camera?
It won't go.
Is the camera not on?
I don't know.
I'll go help you. Ooh, my hair look crusty. You're right, it won't go. We're stuck.
All right. Well, come sit back down. I need your pretty face for the picture at least. Come on. Go press the buttons. I don't know.
You're just slide in over here.
Yep.
I'll share my microphone.
So, where I was going, if I can get back on track here, where I was going with this is, yeah, there's a lot of great networking that happens at that table. But what do you take home when you leave? What are you going to go implement when you leave? You think a lot of great things just happened. Are those people going home with you? Are you taking those people back to go run your business? Or are you actually going to put in the work of what just got delivered to you and go install it in your business and implement it 1,000%? Because if you're not going to do that, that whole table that you're talking about, you're sitting at, you just wasted all of your time and money.
Yeah. Well, it's like all of the it's almost like it's the 5 million, and I'm sure that table makes way more than that per person. What I'm saying is it's like the $5 million table, and it's like I look at that picture and I go, "You know what? I'll build my own table. No, thank you." Like
I've just sat at these tables, and all it is conversation over drinks. And these guys literally portray themselves, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just being real. These guys portray themselves as their heavy hitters, they're big king dingaling in the sales world. Anybody can be. You just got to put in the work. You
True.
just got to listen and put in the work. Give 100%, and you can be way better than they are.
So
They are just people. Go ahead.
oh no, I got a lot to say. You didn't cut me off. I'm just waiting. I had to pull my mouth away from the mic so I didn't like
Go ahead.
bite my tongue. Uh, that is a great perspective from a man, but as a female in the trades, looking at these pictures and images that are coming across from these events, I'm not impressed. I'm looking at the panels of speakers. I'm looking at the lineups of these speakers. I'm looking at these people who are trying to break into the trade industry. And I just keep asking, where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? Where's the women? Where's the where? I just
The women aren't there because the women aren't there yet. I mean, they are, but they aren't. There are don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women business owners.
absolutely.
They are not portraying themselves and they're not putting themselves out there. You know why?
Mm.
All right. Have you ever heard that statement of how's it go? It's something like, all right, go ahead and build your kingdom before you share it, or something like that.
Build it and they will come.
So, women's mindset, to me, and this is my perspective, is that they hold everything until they're ready to show it. They don't want to show off a rusty old Ford. They want to show off a brand new caddy. And to me, that is a lot of what the holdback is from a woman's perspective, is they want perfection before they show it off. They're not willing to go bullshit around and shoot the shit and be fake like a lot of these guys are. And I know I'm calling out a lot of people right now. But this is legit the shit that happens. Like these guys, they're walking in there and this is real live shit that I've seen happen before. I've seen people rent fucking Lotuses, Lamborghinis, Ferraris to pull up in to go
We
to a
saw it in Fort Lauderdale.
to
Our
go to a
hotel
fucking
was full
show
of
or a
them.
Rolls Royce. You go fucking rent one. Anybody can go
Yes,
rent a fucking
you
car.
can. You can. And make up some story bullshit behind it.
And you can make yourself look like a multimillionaire.
Yeah. It's the same
And
shit people
people
do.
do this shit.
Yeah, I mean, think about your high school reunion. It's the same.
Yes,
It's the same pissing contest, just a different crowd.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, I make more than you do. No, you don't. I've sold more than you have.
Okay, and
No, you haven't. Break out your book. Show me your books, bro.
no, I can't.
Yeah,
They haven't been
you ain't
done in
got no
they
damn
they
books,
haven't been
man.
done in 4 years. I can't.
You got no books, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't have to be fake in any of these instances. You can be 100% yourself and feel comfortable in being yourself. If
Right.
you only did $100,000, be fucking proud that you did $100,000.
Right. But
Be proud of it and own it.
my whole point is like at these tables, at these $5 million
They're
tables,
so fake.
the diversity is not there. And why is the diversity not there is my question and my concern. And congratulations on having an 8-man good old boy dinner, but I'm not impressed.
I'm telling you, the reason why is it's fake, a bunch of bullshit, and great picture.
For what?
I mean, that's all that I really have to say. Like
For FOMO, you're trying to make somebody fear of missing out. You're trying to make somebody jelly, like, oh, I want to be like them so I can sit at that table. Build your own table and show up with your own chair. Stop waiting for an invite for people. Like I'm just not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the diversity in the trades because I know it's there. It's
I
just
feel like
not being
you and I just
represented.
had this conversation.
What do you mean?
Build your own table.
I am going to build my own
Stop
table.
asking. I know. I'm saying we just had this conversation. I'm letting the
Yeah.
world know you and I just had this conversation.
Yeah.
Stop asking to show up to other people's events when you are the event.
Yeah.
If you are the event in your circumstance, build your own.
Yeah.
Stop not believing in yourself.
Yep.
You've already put the work in.
Yep.
If you've put yourself out there and you've done this, and I'm going to speak to one person individually right now. The Cassie girl, her first time speaking. She put the
did
work
so
in
good.
to do that, okay? And honestly, I believe that every person before they're ready to take on their own event, they should put the work into several prior to
Yep.
and build the confidence up. So whenever you're putting on your own event, you have the confidence of everybody walking through that door. You're shaking their hands when you see them. Like you're putting your face and your body language and everything in front of everybody that walks through that door as they enter into your event. And you're creating the hype right there on the front side.
Yep.
And then you're also engaging the crowd throughout the entire event until it's
Yep.
your time to talk. All right, it's your time to talk, and you get to disappear. And you completely disappear until the show is over. It's not that you're not watching the show. You need to go disappear and watch the rest of the show because you need to be able to understand what these people are going to download on you after the show
Or even during breaks.
because you're going to continue to engage.
Mhm.
But there's a special way of engagement, is there
Mhm.
not?
Yes, there is.
There is
Do you want me to go about how I how
there's an art to it. So tell us about
there's
it.
an art to it. So when, and I mean this in the most respectful way, I just don't know how another way to articulate it so people understand it. They are legitimately just pouring their soul and like just life vomiting their entire life on you. They're telling you all their experiences, all of their everything. They are not looking and they're not coming to you so that you will give them a one-on-one speech. They heard what you said and you triggered something inside of them. And when you triggered something inside of them, they felt like they wanted to come tell you what it is that you triggered. You stand there and you listen. You shake your head, you engage, you give empathy, you give sympathy, you give excitement, you give celebration. You recognize what it is that they're trying to share with you and you make that connection. That's it. That's all that they want from you. And that bond in that moment will last a lifetime for that person.
Absolutely.
They will remember you for a lifetime and they will share that memory with them for a lifetime because what you said on stage resonated with them.
You already
And
said it. You don't have to say it twice. Like you don't have to
yeah,
go into it again. They want to download to you their
yes,
feelings on exactly what you delivered
yes.
and let them do it. Do not overstep that and lose what you just built
And so,
because you can really fast.
yes. Yeah. And so I kind of like allowing me when I spoke to open up to questions, I kind of pre-cut that off because I did openly allow questions to that. And the questions that were asked were so vulnerable, but I made everyone feel so safe that even
It was a beautiful thing.
asking the questions in a crowd that big, they even felt safe. Like nobody, and the feedback that I got from the event was, I wanted to feel sorry for you, but I couldn't. And that's ultimately what I want. Like, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. My circumstances sucked. Absolutely.
Sucked. Past tense.
But there's something that you can learn from them and you can grow just like I did. But I didn't tell you my story because I want you to cry for me. I told you my story so that you can connect and understand that everybody's got shit and it's all overcomable. And here's the deal, is like a lot of the stories that were told on stage that day, they were their former inmates. I heard that twice, I believe, from two of those speakers. I feel like it could be wrong. At least one
At
for
least
sure.
one.
At least one for sure. Former inmates, they've bounced back, they've done all these awesome things. Like, that's great. But not a whole lot of the population can resonate with that story because a lot of us have never been incarcerated. We don't know, like, we can't relate on that level. Whereas I just gave a different level of relatability in the fact of what I've dealt with and how I came back from it. So it wasn't like my story was more powerful or what I had been through was better. It wasn't like we were comparing anything. It was just that what I
Different
spoke to, yeah,
perspective.
it's just about what I spoke to and the vulnerability that I opened up and pulled the curtain back on was that probably maybe 50% of that room has dealt with some kind of it.
I would go more 80
Yeah. So it was
to some point in their life from childhood to
to adulthood.
adulthood.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
But to me, the biggest part was that what people were willing to openly open up to in the crowd and talk about, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I know.
just blew my
It
mind.
surprised the shit out of me too.
Like, I just cannot believe that
I was
you.
very excited.
Mhm.
I was also very sad at the same time.
Yes.
It just sucks. I mean, uh, as much as the story gets told, and then I'm not saying you're like overtelling it by any means.
And I didn't dive that far off into it.
Mm-mm. But every time this story gets told, there's people that very much feel it and have at some point in their life crossed this path.
Yeah.
Whether they're currently dealing with it or it happened to them early on in life.
Mhm.
Almost, I would say probably, I'm going to be a little conservative. I would say 60% of our population had experienced some sort of physical abuse.
Yeah. Or mental abuse.
I'm just going to say physical.
Okay.
And I think that is very sad
It is indeed.
and traumatizing just to think about that just in itself.
Agreed.
I also believe, and these are my beliefs, by the way, like no preconceived, no conversation.
And we would switch the camera, by the way, if we could.
I would, but my switcher's not working right now.
But to that, like, also too, I just want you guys to know, like, the podcast is just audio. Long form content, video content, is there. The podcast is just audio, so
Yeah,
doesn't matter for the podcast portion.
no, but there's so many people, and it makes me sad that have had to go through some portion of shit by somebody else. And like I said, again, these are my beliefs.
Yes, sir.
I believe that it's alcohol, and I'm not giving anybody a crutch by any means.
A lot
But
of
I
the stories
believe
that we heard did have some type of either drug or alcohol involved in them.
alcohol makes a lot of people feel like they're invisible.
Can I stop you for a second? Like, something
Sure.
just popped into my head. By sharing my story, I never thought until that day how much I need to be careful about the stories that I'm hearing. Because just like some of the other really good podcasters that we follow who have cut back on that content and completely stopped that form of content,
Yeah.
I never realized by telling my story that I would open up to hear other people's stories. And so I think that for me, or I know that for me on Saturday, a lot of that was processing because I am such a sensitive person. And because so much has happened to me, I was almost able to put my feet in their shoes or at least in their room while it was happening and how I would feel in some of these stories that I was hearing. And I was like, "Ooh, Jen, you need to be careful. Like you already know. You need to just protect your mind space and just be vigilant of how many you're hearing, like how much you're spacing them out. Like because you can overhear. I'm not a licensed trauma therapist. I can't I don't know
You
how
don't know
to
how to put it in the trash.
I don't know how to do that. That's not me. So I just need to be careful in that instance.
And I can. I don't know why I can, but I can throw that shit in the trash. Not that it's trash. I don't like don't misconceive what I'm saying. But you you shouldn't have to take home the load of what was just dumped on you because you opened
It
yourself up.
wasn't dumped on me. It was shared with
Understand.
me. And
Maybe I'm using the wrong words, but you know what I'm saying.
I validate their experiences because here's the deal, and we talked about this on the car ride all the way back to the cabin after the event. ultimately, regardless of whatever that person says, that person could come back and be like, that wasn't abuse. Here's the deal. The person who felt it, and how they felt it is how they felt it. And if that's what they believed, that's what they believed, and they're going to forever and always believe that. So,
yeah, if the person that delivered it doesn't feel like that was a problem for their child or spouse or whatever the case
relationship is, yeah.
may be, they don't feel like that was abuse. It doesn't really matter what they feel.
No.
Because the person that received it is the one that gets to have the feeling.
Yes.
Not the person that delivered it.
Right.
You exited out on feelings the second that you delivered something to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to diss anybody in that aspect. And I want to continue to be a safe place for people to come to. I'm just saying that I had an aha moment where it was like,
you do need to figure out how you're going to discard the stuff so that you're not carrying it.
Right.
I agree.
And I think that there's going to be a way of which I deliver my story and a way of which I communicate with people after events and after I speak to maybe not get so much.
Not get too much engagement.
Not the engagement. I love the engagement because I love people and I love when people share their stories. It's the details. Like when you're already trauma bound from an experience that is so close to something that somebody's already, it could be a trigger point. And it's not anything I'm looking to relive. I've dealt with my triggers. I already know what my triggers are. I know the work that I put in. So to have a new story brought in is now something that I know that I'm going to have to go back to my therapist with and be like, hey, this is what's been going on. How can I deal?
Yeah.
So, but that's tonight's podcast.
Well, that was a good one.
It was a really good one. We just had a lot happen.
Yeah. 13 of 100. We're going to get back on track.
Indeed. Next, we've got some text messages to go through as far as situations.
So this one will get dropped in a couple of hours. It'll be live. It won't be live, but it'll be ready for you guys to watch. So.
We got to figure out what happened to our switcher.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good night, everyone. Or good morning. Rather. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's 5 a.m. I hope you enjoyed our podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, till next time, we'll be going over some content, giving our ideas and perspective on a situation that somebody asked our opinion on.
Yeah. Until then, peace out.
Bye, guys.